Hello my fellow nerds and welcome to the Nerd Empire. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you all will enjoy today's reaction video. With that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? The first thing we'll be reacting to is moreparz. We're gonna check out his shorts of all these different stuff in Australia. So we'll start out with, we'll go down one by one.
This bird is a lot of people.
Okay.
This bird is a serial killer.
Jesus Christ, you're the Bay Harbor Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under. Now, at first glance, you may be thinking to yourself, how could this sweet little guy be a vicious killer? I mean, he's so tiny. They only grow up to around 30 centimeters and cap their weight out at 90 grams. And on top of being about as threatening as a fucking teddy bear, look at their claws. A shrike trying to end anything with its talons is like trying to stab a hippopotamus to death with a fucking pool noodle. Listen to the thing, it sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch geek. You'd never heard a fly. But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me a fucking creep. You know that, Dexter?
You may have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are, because shrikes actually have another name. They're called fucking butcher birds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. The Dexter jokes actually had a fucking point. You see, when the Bay Harbor butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the night.
Now, unlike Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the f they want. Insects, mice, me, even lizards. And once they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop on it. Now, while those claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on their victim, they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between their vertebrae and severing their fucking spinal cord.
Oh,
but converting their prey into a vegetable isn't enough. No. These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have paralyzed their prey and shattered its spine, they will fly its corpse back to their larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence. And once they get home, they fucking impale them.
The fuck?
They will then leave that corpse there for days, occasionally biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the fucking fridge. Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs.
Oh my god. What the hell is wrong with these birds? That is... yeah, that is some serial killer type shit. I mean, these birds are like Vlad the Impaler. They should have some sort of nickname that, you know, coincides with Vlad the Impaler. Like Tweety the Impaler or something.
This bird, a lot of people are scared of snakes, but
yeah, I want to make sure this is actually the next one on his thing. It's not. All right.
a lot of people
are
scared
okay.
of snakes. But have you ever wondered what snakes are scared of? The answer is this fucking bird. Introducing the secretary bird, native to the continent of Africa, and a prime example that being a hater pays off. Coming in at 1.3 meters tall and 4.27 kilos in weight, this lanky turkey has been purpose-built, nay, expertly fucking engineered by the gods themselves with the sole purpose of violating the ever-loving out of any garden hose that so much as looks at it the wrong way.
Oh my god.
You see, these bad boys are birds of prey, but unlike their cousins in the same category, they are primarily terrestrial, which means they spend most of their time on the ground. This is because their preference for diet is sentient slithering sausages. However, with this thing being endemic to Africa, their preferred meal also just happens to include some of the deadliest predators on the f***ing
That's hilarious that he uses Dr. Disrespect.
planet. Does this stop the secretary bird? No, mate. Despite having no natural venom resistance, these absolute f***ing giga-chads will eat cobras, boomslangs, and black mambas without breaking a sweat. But how do they hunt these things without getting bitten? Simple. They just kick the f*** out of them. You see, those long-ass legs aren't just for show, as a secretary bird is capable of accurately curb-stomping a snake's head into the ground with a force equal to 5 times their f***ing body weight. So when a secretary bird fancies a bite to eat, they start out by stomping the ground around dense vegetation. This causes snakes in the area to poke their heads out of their houses to see what the f*** is going on. The snake then looks up in horror as the secretary bird locks onto him, sprints over at Mach 9, and then... A lot of people are scared of snakes.
Just curb stomp the ever living shit out of the poor noodle. Oh, well, it's a danger noodle, but you know, just gets the shit stomped out of it. God damn.
This bird is a vampire. Introducing the vampire ground finch, native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly 12 centimeters and a mere 20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even f***ing sparkle. So if it's missing fangs, angst, a cape, and the funny accent,
You must bounce on it.
how does it qualify as a vampire? Simple. Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands, and small islands means a far smaller amount of that food to go around. To the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source, which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, you know, they don't need a plane ticket to just f*** off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't fly for shit. So, how do they get their food? They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh, is the Nazca booby. Hey, stop giggling back there. Another species of bird native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play. You see, when the boobies stop giggling, come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers. Once the blood is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby.
Surely it'd do 5 takes.
Can't say that shit.
Oh, poor guy.
This spider hunts with jump scares. But how?
God, I fucking hate spiders. I hate them so I don't care what spider it is. I fucking hate them.
Introducing the Trapdoor spider, a family of arachnid containing hundreds of species found in every continent on the globe. Meaning, yes, For once, this bad boy could be in your backyard and you'd never know. Now,
And I'd rather never find out. Thankfully, I don't have a backyard. Another reason to not go and touch grass.
trapdoor spiders are particularly interesting compared to other spiders due to their hunting method. You see, normal spiders tend to spend several hours spinning up some elaborate art piece for a fly to clothesline itself on. And tarantulas just jump. But trapdoor spiders, yeah, they hunt with a door. Very early on in life, trapdoor spiders dig themselves a hole. This silk-lined burrow will then serve as its home for basically its entire 20-year lifespan. Hell, they basically never leave the thing, like some neckbeard living in his mum's basement. But they've still got to eat, and since DoorDash does not deliver to spiders, this burrow doubles as their method for catching food. You see, they use their silk to craft a trapdoor over the burrow entrance. Then, using their fantastic arts and craft skills, they just bolt a bunch of random shit to their front door so it blends in perfectly with the floor.
Yeah,
After finishing their construction project, they will spin up a bunch of basically invisible strands of web on the floor in the surrounding area that act as tripwires, feeding information back to their neckbeard nest whenever something steps on it. And when some unfortunate insect steps a little too close...
Money, money, money.
This spider
Yikes.
hunts...
God, I mean, I've seen, I don't see how you can love spiders. They're just spawns of hell. But I've seen trapdoor spiders, funny enough, not in real life, but on a movie. It's called The Eight-Legged Freaks. And those spiders, God, that's terrifying.
This is the world's biggest spider. But why the f is it that big? Introducing Theraphosa blondie, a tarantula surprisingly not native to Australia for once. It's found on the other tyrannid hive continent, South America. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, this thing is fucking huge.
God,
Coming in at a frightening 175 grams in weight and 12 inches in leg span.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
And those legs
Spiders they should not get that big. There is no good reason for a spider to be that fucking huge.
are not the only place that's packing inches, because Shelob's cousin here is packing fangs that measure a huge inch in length. For scale, that is like a 6-foot human packing canines the length of a fucking ruler. But the important question, why the f is it so big? And the answer is that I have withheld information from you. You see, I introduced this girl by a Latin name. She's much better known as the Goliath bird-eater tarantula. That's right, this EDF-sized spider, not unlike me, would fucking kill for some KFC. Literally. These bile titans will quite happily hunt birds, remy, frogs, and even... And they do all of this without a fucking web. Yeah, Goliaths are a pure melee build, hunting by prowling the jungle floor, sensing for movement with incredibly sensitive hairs on their legs. These hairs pick up vibrations in the air
to
tell them when something is close. And once their spidey sense tells them that Remy's in range, they fucking jump him, biting him with those daggers they call fangs and injecting him with fucking neurotoxin. Can I go 1 week without covering neurotoxin? Of course this thing has it too. You know, I give up. I give up. They then drag their prey back to their burrow and spit up acidic digestive juices in order to suck their prey up through a fucking straw.
Just all the no's I can possibly give.
Australia just found a new record-breaking insect. But before I show him to you, how the f do we keep finding new bugs? You see, Australia is home to an estimated 200,000 species of insect, which is pretty damn impressive, especially when you consider the only place you're going to find more bugs than that is by counting the roach population in Asmongold's walls. Now, the scary part of this is that out of that 200k, we've only actually identified 62,000, meaning that
I can't really stand insects. I can't. It's just, the creepy crawlies. I mean, I don't, there are some insects I don't mind. I just don't like them. I can't stand them. Especially fucking spiders. Especially the spiders I seem to find whenever I need to go to the bathroom or have to take a shower. I just rather never find a spider in my bathroom. That is the one place I'd rather not find a spider.
we have no idea what nearly 3/4 of the bugs in the country actually fucking do.
You like jazz?
And so it should come as no surprise that while exploring Australia's dense rainforests, 2 scientists discovered a new record holder for the largest insect in the land down under, and it's a fucking stick bug. Introducing Acrophila alta.
Ah, damn, that thing's so fucking huge. It's the length of a fucking forearm.
And coming in at a full 40 centimeters and 44 grams in weight. I don't think that qualifies as a stick insect anymore. That's fucking Groot.
That's a branch. That's no longer a stick. That's a fucking branch.
Australia's very own Erd tree avatar was discovered in Queensland.
Big ass
Of
stick.
course it fucking was. And despite being enough inches in length to make any man jealous, it's actually completely harmless. However, given how many oversized bugs we already have, if we find any more, I think they're gonna send the fucking Helldivers.
Yes, send the Helldivers. Just completely scorch Earth, Australia. Nobody... I don't understand how people can live in the devil's fucking playground, in the devil's backyard. How are there people who are okay with living there, knowing that at any fucking second, in anything like in their shoe, under a door handle, under their pillow or anything, they'll find a fucking spider that can kill them within 15 to 20 minutes, or a fucking snake that can end them within the same amount of time, or just any other fucking thing that's trying to freaking kill them. How can you keep living in Satan's backyard? Australians, in the future, if you see this video, I want you to explain to me how the fuck you're okay with living there.
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders. It has a tiger. Well, kinda. Introducing the thylacine, better known as the Tassie tiger. As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet. Despite the
Sadly,
kangaroo
it's
coming in at
extinct.
7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are herbivores, and everything else in the pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby. Capable of opening their jaw a full 80
Being able to open your mouth this much is something out of like a 90s horror movie.
degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool. There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is in black and white. That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits, did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plans. It's free real estate. The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so they placed bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down. One by one by one. For 70 fucking years. Until September 7th, 1936. When the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny.
Yeah, that's just sad. Poor Tassie tiger. Poor Benjamin.
Australia has a straight up Pokemon.
Oh, it's adorable.
Introducing the brushtail possum. More specifically, the golden brushtail possum. Native to the land down under and one of the rare examples of an Australian animal that isn't expressly designed to DoorDash you straight to heaven. You see, the brushtail is one of a grand total of 23 species of Australian possum, which, despite the name, share absolutely no relation to the red-blooded American opossum. These adorable little marsupials come in all shapes and sizes, from the ringtail possum to the sugar glider, and to our protagonist here, the golden brushtail, which is really just a common brushtail possum with a rare genetic mutation called leucism that causes them to lose the pigment in their skin. So, basically, it's a fucking shiny Pokemon. Coming in at around 4.5 kilos and 40 centimeters in length, these tree-dwelling marsupials are nocturnal and primarily herbivores, mainly consisting on a diet of leaves and fruit. And for added cute points, as marsupials, yes, they carry around their babies in a little pouch like their roided out cousin the kangaroo. However, come on, the thing is from Australia, you didn't really think these bad boys would be squeaky clean, did ya? You see, they aren't entirely herbivores. Sure, they love a good salad. They will also quite happily raid a bird's nest and turn Tweety's kids into a 3-egg omelette. Roadkill?
Yeah.
Sounds like a fine steak dinner to me. And just because it's not a venomous predator doesn't mean it can't take your fucking finger off. And the cherry on top, Aussie Pikachu here doesn't go Pika Pika. No, you see, Down Under doesn't have Pokemon trainers, because when you step into the tall grass out here, you hear this absolute fucking demon.
Ah, that sounds nightmare-inducing.
This spider can remove your limbs.
Ah.
But how? Introducing the brown recluse, native to the United States of America, and a prime example of don't judge a book by its cover. Because despite only coming in at a huge 2 centimeters in length and rocking the spider equivalent of default character customization, this motherfucker is a level 500 rot build that gives Melania a run for her money. You see, a bite from a recluse starts in the most American way possible, with you accidentally stepping foot onto his private property, causing him to exercise his Second Amendment rights.
Any place I've ever lived, I've always hoped that I will never run into this little fucker. Because I'd rather not have my, I'd rather not get bit and possibly have my limbs rot off.
But considering a spider can't really hold a gun, he's gonna settle on biting your ass. Now, that initial bite's pretty painless. You smack him away, all's well. There is just one small problem. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of necrotic venom coursing through your veins.
Yep.
Which at first does nothing. You walk back to your house, the bite starts to sting a little more. You feel sick. The wound swells, and the blood vessels around the bite burst, turning it a deep red. Over the next few days, that colour shifts from red to purple to black, as the venom literally destroys and kills the surrounding tissue in a process called necrosis.
Yeah, I've seen what necrosis looks like, and yeah, it's a good thing he blurred it like this, because it is fucking disgusting. Oh. Yeah. Oh, it's gross. Google at your own risk.
This causes the skin to literally rot and fall off of your body. And if you don't catch it in time, that rot's gonna spread. If you're lucky, it'll only make you violently ill and leave permanent scarring. If you're unlucky, it just keeps spreading and venom starts to destroy your blood cells and shut your organs down. Now, there's kind of only one solution to that, but you weren't using that arm anyway, right?
If I'm going to lose a limb, if I had to choose which limb to lose, it would be a leg. Since I like to play my video games, I'd rather keep both my arms. I'd rather just lose a leg.
This isn't a spider. It's a snake. Introducing the Iranian spider-tailed horned viper. As the name suggests, native to Iran, and you are all probably wondering why the f*** this snake has decided to attach a cosplay of the average Australian resident to his tail. The answer is food. You see, every known snake species is a predator. Some eat Bambi, others eat Remy, and the spider tail, not unlike myself, absolutely fucking loves KFC. However, birds famously tend to fly, and last I checked, nope ropes don't have wings. So, how does this viper...
I'd rather a nope rope never have wings. A flying snake would... I think that'd be quite damn terrifying.
get his zinger box? The answer is, again, food. You see, birds eat insects, and the spider tail knows this. So, rather than trying to chase his prey down, this lazy fucker has evolved the evolutionary equivalent of DoorDash. You see, when a viper feels like a meal, it'll start the hunt by finding a nice rocky outcrop to curl up on like a couch. And due to the camouflage on his scales, this snake becomes practically invisible. Once he's nice and cozy, he begins to slowly wiggle his tail back and forth in front of his face, perfectly mimicking the motion of an insect. Think of this as him placing his Uber Eats order. Meanwhile, up in the air, our undercooked chicken tender is flying around when, holy shit, a free meal! What a delectable bug, just sitting there on that rock. And so, Tweety Birdie swoops down to grab himself an insect Happy Meal. And just as he's about to reach his meal, this is...
Oh, the poor Tweety Bird. You've seen videos of insects fighting? The only insects I've really seen fighting are beetles. Like a battle royale. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm surprised I still have a bottle of water on my desk.
Australia's scariest spider is hiding a deep secret. But what is it? Well, introducing the Huntsman, native to the land
Ah, the Huntsman. God, this fucker can get huge.
down under, and the #1 cause of tourists absolutely shitting themselves on camera. And look, in defense of said tourists, I will be the first to admit, yeah, this looks scarier than a f***ing job application. Those gangly ass legs and the hair make him look like Slender Man's testicle. Now, as if having a negative charisma stat wasn't bad enough, I regret to inform you that the Huntsman spider grows up to 30 f***ing centimeters in...
Yeah, like I said before, there is no good reason on God's green earth that spiders should be getting this fucking huge. There is no good fucking reason spiders need to get this goddamn big.
size, making it the largest spider on the planet by leg span and legally allowing Subway to market him as a foot long. Now, being the spider equivalent of a Ford F-150, you'd think he'd have the common decency to be slow, you know.
Spiders eating cockroaches.
Unfortunately,
I don't think I'd like to watch videos of spiders eating anything. To me, no, I'm good.
Fortunately, the Huntsman is fucking turbocharged. Now, it's usually at this point in the video that I would inform you that he is also highly venomous, because
Well,
it's Australia.
he's
However,
not.
that's his big secret. The Huntsman is a big sweetheart.
It's weird. It's like a lot of the big spiders, like the really big ones, they're venomous or toxic, but their venom or toxin is like pretty much harmless to humans. It's like the tiny ones, the small spiders that are fucking hugely venomous to humans.
See, despite looking like an SCP, Huntsmen are incredibly timid, and on the rare occasion they do bite, their venom is harmless. In fact, seeing one of these bad boys in your house is...
If I came into my house and I saw a spider this fucking huge on my wall, I would one of three things. One, I would that just be his place now. It belongs to him. Nope, it's no longer mine. Two, I would get a shotgun and blow his ass to fucking oblivion. Or three, torch his ass with a fucking flamethrower. Because fuck having a spider that goddamn huge in my home.
a blessing in disguise, because if you see a Huntsman in your home, I guarantee you won't see any annoying ass flies or mosquitoes, because he's eaten them. You see, he understands he's big enough that he should be paying rent, and so he contributes to the household in pest control. I personally have had one of these bad boys as an 8-legged roommate, and I can tell you they're pretty good company. Except for the part where they cause car crashes. Yeah, you see, Huntsmen like to hide in tight spaces and cracks, and they do it by flattening out their body to fit into the gap. Now, in the house, that usually means you'll just find them behind a painting, but when you're flying down the highway at 110k an hour and decide to flip down the sun visor because God is trying to flashbang you, yeah, they like to sleep in there and you've just dropped one into your lap. Now, whatever you do, don't panic or you're gonna crash the...
Oh yeah, I'd be fucking panicking if... Yes, I know what a jumping spider is. Oh yeah, those... Okay, I will say this. The only spiders that can be categorized as cute are those very tiny, colorful spiders that do the adorable dances. Those little tiny jumping spiders. Those are the only ones I will allow to be categorized as cute. Because they're kind of adorable. But still... If a spider jumped on me, I would instantly try and squish it because fuck that.
If you see this thing T-pose, run! Introducing the anteater, a goofy little creature native to Brazil, and to understand why the absolute stance on this bad boy is a threat to your health, you're going to have to understand a little about his lifestyle first. Now listen, I know this may come as a shock to you, but the anteater eats ants. And weighing in at 40 kilos and 1.8 meters in length, he needs to consume upwards of 40,000 ants per day. Now, in order to help him hit his bulking goals, the anteater has a mystery mouse tool stored inside that XL sniffer.
Let me do it
60 centimeter long tongue.
What'd that tongue do, though?
Snake its way down an ant colony's tunnel network, smash into their living room, and abduct the entire cast of Bug's Life and convert them into a high-calorie meal. However, what that tongue do only goes so far, as an ant colony can extend up to 4 meters underground, and termites live in high-rises, which means our boy here is going to have to do a little excavation to get to the goods. But last I checked, an anteater can't go down to Bunnings and buy a shovel. So how does he dig? Oh, that's simple, with the combat knives he has for claws. Yeah, anteaters are permanently cosplaying Freddy Krueger, with a set of 4-inch claws, which, proving the effectiveness of a few inches, can crack through f***ing concrete. Now, these work great for digging, but they are also more than capable of flatlining you. When threatened, the anteater will rear up into a defensive T-pose. This is your sign, if you are smart, to turn around and f*** all the way off. If, however, you were, say, some dumbass trophy hunter who really felt the need to try and stab an animal for no reason other than ego, the anteater will swipe at you with those claws, which are at the perfect height to nail your inner thigh, slip through your flesh like butter, and sever your femoral artery, causing you to bleed out in 2 minutes while the anteater watches you go meet your ancestors. Can you imagine having to explain to your ancestors who felled woolly mammoths you got your packed up by the most unserious creature on the planet hitting a T-pose?
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. All right, we'll do 2 more.
Dolphins get drunk. But why? Well, you see, the dolphin is by far and away the smartest animal in the ocean. In fact, they're actually the second smartest thing on the planet, just behind you and me. This means they are smart enough to understand that the ideal way to spend your night is more plastered than Chad and Max on your average Cold Ones episode. There is just one problem. Last I checked, there's no bottle-o in Bikini Bottom. So how does a dolphin get fired for all? Simple. They abuse pufferfish. You see, due to the lack of underwater alcohol,
They get high as
dolphins
shit
need
on
to
those
find
things.
other ways to get their fix, which is where SpongeBob's driving instructor comes in. You see, pufferfish contain this really cool and totally not dangerous substance called tetrodotoxin. What is tetrodotoxin? You know, it's only one of the most potent natural neurotoxins on the f***ing planet. This shit will freeze your heart and lungs in under an hour with a tiny dose. And it's the reason why cooking a pufferfish requires a dexterity check so you don't, hit the poison gland and get yourself deleted. Now, puffers carry this as a defense mechanism as poison accumulates in their organs and skin. Why is that important? Well, you see, I kinda lied. Dolphins don't get drunk. They get high on neurotoxin.
¿Quieres?
Pods of dolphins will bully pufferfish until they inflate, then partake in a literal puff-puff pass. By lightly squeezing the puffer in their mouth, they receive a small dose of neurotoxin, which has a narcotic effect, allowing Flipper here to trip balls before passing the unhappy basketball on to the next submarine stoner. Flipper and friends saw the deadliest neurotoxin on the planet and said, "Fuck it, let me try some of that." Dolphins get drunk.
Yeah, dolphins are little shits. They've even known to violate some humans.
Most snails aren't scary, except for this one. This one's Australian. Introducing the cone snail, an aquatic mollusk native to the land down under. And as seems to be the requirement when sharing your postcode with a kangaroo, you guessed it, it can quite easily cause your neck snap to be in a coffin. And the way it can achieve it is this bad boy right here. You see, despite most snails having a reputation for being slow goobers that get folded by a salt shaker, the cone snail is a highly effective ambush predator. And you may be wondering, how the fuck does a creature that moves slower than the GTA 6 development cycle hunt anything? Well, that's simple. It has a grappling hook.
You have a good night as well, Mana.
That's right, Gary's
Thank you for
murderous
being here.
little cousin here is a roadhog, mate.
Hi there.
And he hunts by slowly but surely stalking up on his prey until he's just within range, and then bang! The cone snail does a quarter circle input, spitting out a toothed harpoon at 90 kilometers a hour. This
Hey,
harpoon
Dakota.
then nails its prey, allowing them to reel it in like he's playing Scorpion. And in case that wasn't bad enough, as seems to be a requirement for spawning on Australian servers, it's venomous. That harpoon also injects its prey with a highly potent neurotoxin that instantly paralyzes it. This means it cannot put up a fight as it is sucked into the snail's ginormous maw like a
Look at that. Oh, man.
nightmarish version of Kirby. And, just in case you thought for once you might be safe, cone snail venom is potent enough to kill 700 people with one sting. Oh yeah, and there's no anti-venom. Because it's not enough that it can kill me. No, I have to die knowing there is zero counterplay. Who balanced this
Oh, God. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I post videos 3 to 5 days a week here. I also post videos over on my other channel for gaming as well. So please make sure to give that a look-see. See if you enjoy that as well. I also stream anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week as well. Links to all my social medias will be on my YouTube page. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.